Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessie if you are new here. I do all kinds of lifestyle videos, vlogs, talk about being pregnant. I am now 8 months pregnant. I also do a lot of personal finance videos, which is what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to do a little October recap. We are in, just as a preface, we are in like a little bit more spendy of a time period. This is the last month that I won't have a baby, basically. We're due in mid to late December for baby. And yeah, so we have a lot of baby stuff coming up, a lot of stuff that I need because of baby coming up. So you'll see that we went over budget on quite a bit of stuff, but again, I don't zero-based budget. It just doesn't work for us. So I set a budget, we try to stick to it. Sometimes we go over, sometimes we don't. And this month we definitely went over. We went over in some areas because of things that happened, which I'll tell you about. There's also a couple areas that we're gonna try to pull back on in November because I also anticipate November being a little bit more high spend. We have been focusing on saving versus paying off our debt because we have a baby coming. And with that, some of our savings may be pulled over for different things within our budget. So if something is, I will show you why and why we did that. But that was the whole reason we started saving earlier this year when we found out we were pregnant, because we wanted to be able to make sure when things came up now, like needing to buy a crib, things like that, you know. So those are the types of things that we're preparing for. So without further ado, let's jump into the October budget. Sorry, I sound out of breath. I also just ate as well, so I feel like my face is just like stuffed up and stuff, but I'm also filming in my room. If you haven't, in our bedroom, if you haven't seen our video that I put up recently, we set up the nursery, which took over my office. So now my office is in our bedroom. But let's jump into today's October budget recap. Okay, here we go. Here is our budget. So as always, I have our income blocked off just as what makes us comfortable. We did get an extra $600 payment that we weren't anticipating. It's for like a few months of a fitness client for Ben. He still does like some virtual personal training for a couple of his family members. So we had that extra $600, which comes in handy and you will see later. I also rolled over $710 from last month. 566 of that was the payment for our OBGYN fee that we still hadn't paid, that I had to pay by November. And then we also had, I don't remember exactly, but I know that it was some savings. And then we also pulled over some money from savings. We also got reimbursed for a couple of things that I don't remember exactly what it was. But so you'll see we brought in $9,304, but probably, I don't know, 700 of that was from savings. So, or extra stuff. So moving on, my brain, yo, is just like not working. So I don't exactly know where it came from, but it probably came from savings. Moving on to our fixed expenses, these will continue to be the same. So everything was on budget. Ben's phone was a little bit more. I'll talk about this in our December budget, but we actually won't be paying Ben's phone out of this budget anymore. It'll be being paid out of my business budget because he joined my phone plan. So right now though, we did have to pay it last month. We do have to pay it in November, and then it'll be being taken out of here. But for the most part, our fixed expenses are the same. And it looks like one of Ben's apps didn't pull through, or I just put it in the wrong place, which is probably more truthful for what it is. So we spent $2,069.45 on fixed expenses last month, most of that being our rent per usual. Our debt is always the same as well. It's fixed currently. All of these payments stay the same. Our two personal loans are the highest payment. We have interest on a different page that I keep track of. If you want to see what it looks like on our like savings and debt tracker, you can go and check that out. I'll link it in the cards. So yeah, basically these will stay the same. The only thing is, as long as the student loan debt relief goes through, I believe we won't have a payment for Ben anymore, so this line item will go away. This one will go up to, my payment used to be $116. I don't know how much it will be now. This is my federal student loan, but it is $16,000, so I won't get it all paid off, so I will have a payment again in January. But for now, we pay $1,700 in debt, which is annoying and ridiculous. That is 21% of our budget, which is terrible, but like, it is what it is, and we're trying to pay it off, but right now we have to focus on savings. So that is that. Moving on to the variable expenses, which is where things get seedy. I feel like in most people's budget, this is usually where things get seedy. So we spent $725 on groceries. As you can see, this Lowe's store is like a small grocery store that's right down the road from us. This is always our problem area because when we forget something, we want ice cream, we want something like that, we go to Lowe's. So we have these like random $30 trips that kind of get thrown in there. If we didn't have that, we definitely wouldn't spend as much on groceries. So that's something that we'd like to get a little bit better on. Y'all don't even know how much of this I'm cutting out because I cannot catch my breath. The next thing, Costco. So we spent our initial trip, we spent $249.85. I went way over budget on Costco this month because I bought like blankets, which I have the blanket back there and it's spectacular. Okay, I'm probably gonna buy another one when I go tomorrow, but I just went over budget on that because I bought a lot of household things that I wasn't anticipating. And then about 2 days after I went to Costco, if you follow me on Instagram, which make sure you do, it's just Jessie__Fritz. But our TV just like broke one Friday. It had been kind of going out where like the screen wasn't doing super hot, and then it just stopped working, and Ben worked on it for a while, and so we were like, well, Costco's still open. So we went and bought a TV. It was $482.61, which I don't think is terrible because we got a fairly large TV, and TVs used to be much more expensive if I'm dating myself. We spent $732 at Costco this month, which is obviously way more than I budgeted for, but we weren't anticipating a broken TV. So that's one of the things that was not budgeted for this month, but I'm grateful that we had the money in our savings, and then we had got that extra payment from Ben's fitness stuff, so it kind of just evened out enough. Next up, again, my problem area. We spent almost double what we should have on restaurants and coffee shops. I went to Starbucks a lot this month, and that is just like where I'm spending a lot of money because the Starbucks that I get is like really expensive. And then we went on our baby moan this month as well, so we ate quite a few meals out, but then we ate a lot of meals out when we were home too. But this is an area I'm truly gonna try to relax on this month. The biggest reason being, currently no food really tastes great to me. So I'm like, why am I spending, $60 on food a week out or more? And I don't even really like it that much. So that is something that we are trying to do. Now I will say it's November 1st. I have bought a coffee today, and I bought Ben a wrap, and I bought me a wrap. So doing well. Anyway, but we're gonna try to slow it down this month. Probably not take as many date night, because what we were noticing is we were doing like a date night, then we were ordering food on Fridays, then we were stopping for Starbucks on the weekend. So it just kind of like added up. So definitely a problem area. I am the biggest problem child for this. So yes, we're gonna try to be better on that this next month, especially assuming that like once baby comes, we'll probably need to order food out a little bit more. Okay, we're playing the game of how many more times can I film this. I started filming it after I changed my battery, and then my memory card filled up. So let's turn this back on and I'll refilm that part. New screen recording, record. Okay, so I was talking, I believe, about restaurants and coffee shops before that. Moving on to supplements, we were a little bit over budget from a bunch of supplements we had to buy, things that I'm like deficient in, like calcium, magnesium, things like that, that I've been struggling with, like some leg cramps and stuff. Household was very over budget this month. We had to buy like a couch cleaner, like one of those little green machines, because I've talked about it in our vlogs, but the dust in this house is crazy. And as much as I love and wanted a white couch, and everybody told me not to get a white couch, the dust from this house is just like ruining it. So we had to get that, which already was over budget. I think it was like $130 just for that. We had some Target things. We had to get an iron supplement, dog poop bags, dishwasher pods. I had to get some toothbrush, like my electric toothbrush replacements. And then we got some stuff from Target. So we were pretty over budget. I think the Target stuff was like, that was like Ben's clothing haul, which I'll also link here if you guys want to watch it. It was a whole vlog, but within it he did like a little haul of some stuff that he got at Target. So I have that in household as well. So that's why that was over budget. The beauty category was also over budget. I got my nails done. I bought this Osea stuff that I use for my face, like a face oil. And that was, I believe, over budget just then. And then Ben got his hair cut, and I believe too, didn't he? Yeah, I don't remember. So, and then I got a bikini wax, which I did a vlog on that as well. And that was pretty expensive. And then they made me like set up my next appointment, and with that comes a deposit, which was $18.75, and I'm going to cancel that appointment though. So I should get that $18.75 back in our November budget. Moving on to personal spending, we actually didn't go over budget on this, but you could pull anything from like beauty or household into there. I just didn't want to break up the payments. So we spent $126. That was, Ben got me a massage gift card. I got some maternity leggings, a Kindle book, Amazon slippers, and then I also got a refund on 2 things that I purchased as well. So $25 is all I spent on therapy because I only had 1 session. Doctors, we went a little over budget there because I wasn't expecting to see the chiropractor this month, so I hadn't budgeted for that, and thankfully she's covered by insurance, so I only have to pay a $25 copay. So we were over by that $25 copay. Next is utilities. We were low on utilities this month. It's no longer as hot here, so yeah, that worked out much better for us this month. Plus we didn't have one of our bills is like every other month or every 3 months, so it was a little bit less than we were anticipating. Same with car and gas. We only spent $167 instead of the $250 that I had budgeted. Next was Cora and Finn. We were technically $10 under, and yeah, that was just like a probiotic because Finn was having some trouble with his stomach. Cobalaquin supplement, which is something that Cora takes for her allergies and her stomach, and then dog food. Baby stuff, we went over budget by about $183. I got like a bunch of stuff. So I bought that Etsy Hogwarts photo that I've showed you guys in the nursery tour, where the nursery tour is at right now at least. I bought like a baby class that we're going to in a couple weeks, a couple of outfits. I used my baby list, which is my registry. You get a discount, so I used that to buy a couple of bigger things that we still hadn't received. I bought a bunch of Amazon baby stuff, some stuff at buybuy BABY as well. So this will probably continue to be pretty expensive. I've already bought some stuff today from Amazon for baby stuff as well. We're just trying to get everything that we need now. And then I also budgeted a little bit of money for Black Friday in case any stores have like cute clothes or something like that I want to get a couple things. But for the most part, we should be done, besides like maybe a couple of little things that aren't necessary. Oh, except we do have to buy a crib. So my dad was going to build us one, and then logistically it just didn't make sense. Like, how is he gonna get a crib from northern Wisconsin to the East Coast? So initially they had said that they were gonna chip in on helping buy a crib, but I haven't heard back from them on that, if that's something that they can financially do right now, they being him and my mom. So We do need to still buy a crib. I'm not sure if they're gonna pitch in on it or not. I am going to try to wait until Black Friday to order the crib. We do have a bassinet, so it should be fine. Getting the crib at the end of November, because if it comes a little bit late, it shouldn't be a big issue. But we do have a crib that we want. It's sold on multiple websites, so I'm hoping that one of them will have it on sale, although I'm not super confident that it will be. So that'll be something that we purchase in November, or this month, because it's November 1st right now as I'm filming this. And then finally, miscellaneous, buffer, way over budget because we had some unexpected things. So I did budget for Ben's business, had, I don't know, some late fees that he didn't pay. This boy drives me crazy. I'm being quiet because he's over there. So that was like $180, but I had budgeted for that. There was like a Kindle fee. He withdrew $80 from the ATM because the hair salon told us that their card machine wasn't working. So then he got to the hair salon and forgot, and the card machine was working, and then forgot to pay with the cash. So he technically paid like twice, paid it out via cash. So we've been buying like a couple random things with that cash. Because I had to get my nails redone. So technically I got my nails done twice in this month, but you don't see it in the budget because I used cash. Oh, and the big one was that we had a $450 charge from our accountant, which also annoys me because I think our taxes were done early this year. Our taxes don't get done as quickly as I would like them to because Ben is part owner of a donut shop in Illinois, so we have to wait until they do all their stuff before our taxes can be done. So the accountant that we use also does their taxes, which is why our taxes are so expensive. But yeah, so we had asked like multiple times how we were supposed to pay him and how much it was, and he like never got back to us, and then Ben forgot about it, and the accountant emailed us like last week and was like, hey, you still haven't paid this $450 bill. And we were like, well, yeah, because you didn't tell us about it. So we had to pay that from earlier this year. So that like kind of sucks because we weren't anticipating it this month and we already had a very high spend month. So $5,400 in variable expenses, which is insane. $1,700 over budget. But the two of the big culprits in that were the TV that we weren't anticipating and the taxes that we weren't anticipating. That's like almost $1,000, like $900 between the two of them that we weren't anticipating. And then, like I said, we went over budget on some other things as well. And then expenses that pop up, we didn't spend anything out of budget there. So in total, we spent $234.28, and our income remaining was $70. I moved that and just transferred it into our November budget, so that's all set there. But that is what our October budget recap looks like. Definitely another high spend month, but that's the way that things are for us right now. I know that like some people are very like hard pressed to pay off debt and to spend like very tightly on a budget, and for us that's just not something that I'm willing to do right now. That will be probably something that we do next year. But honestly, we just needed a break, and you know, we've lived with way less money than this, where we've been paying things with credit card or couldn't afford to pay our rent. And Ben got a job this year where we actually had some additional income that we could put toward things like savings or buying cute things for baby or things like that that we were never able to do before. As much as I believe in being like really tight with your budget and paying off debt as quickly as possible, which we will want to do in the next couple years because we will want to buy a house in the next couple of years, I'm also okay with us going over budget like this every now and then. And with where we're at right now, it's a very like confusing time. Like we have no idea what it's like to have a baby, what it's like to have a child. I'm not going to be working full time, at least for a long period of time, because childcare is ridiculous and it doesn't even make sense at this point when I can just be home and hopefully continue to work with my freelance clients. That is what our October budget looks like. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that my vulnerability of what we're doing is interesting to you. I know that everybody has their own opinions on how things should be done, but I think it's just interesting to see what everybody does, and we just are doing things a little bit differently right now, and we're not being as strict as we could be, so that we have a couple goals for next month, but that is what it is. But anyway, I'm super out of breath, so I'm gonna let y'all go before my memory card or something fills up again. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.